Hello everyone again and welcome to this new tutorial series where we will be explaining and talking about Unity in game development and game design. So I hope you are guys hyped and motivated to get started with this series, so let's get right into it. So I guess if you watched the last video, you will be right now have the Unity Hub installed in your PC or in your Mac, and in this install area here you will have this version of Unity. It's 2019.3.0 F3, and you will also have those WebGL build support, the Mac build support, and also the iOS build support. If you are using a PC, you should have here the WebGL build support, the Windows build support, and the Android build support. So if you didn't install Unity yet, I recommend you to go and watch the last video we post in the last episode. You will see it pop up here in this video. And if you, in case you are lazy enough not to go and check, just do this. Just click add. When you install the Unity Hub, you go to install here and you click this add button here and you pick your Unity version just like this. You click next, you select the iOS build support if you are using a Mac, or the Android build support if you are using a computer, the Mac build here or the Windows build, and the WebGL build of course, and you just click done and you wait until Unity is installed in your computer or on your Mac. And so you will have something just like this. So I will go ahead in project right now. So in your case, you will need to create a new default project. So I will just click here new, and I will create a new project. Let's keep it 2D for now. We are going to create an empty project for now. So select this 2D here, and the name project, name it whatever you want. I will name it Intro to Unity, just like this, and I will keep it in my desktop for now, and I will hit create. You will give it like between 10 to 20 seconds. It depends on your Mac or PC RAM and processor. So if it's fast, it will load up faster. If it's slow, it will load slow. So just give it the time it needs until the project is set up correctly, and you will have something just like this. Alright guys, as you can see right now we have this new Unity Windows. It's completely empty and I didn't touch it or anything, so we should have the same window right now. So as you can see, there is a lot of stuff going on here, right guys? So the first thing I want you to do guys here is to notice with me all those windows, or those yeah, let's call them windows, right? So we have this tab here, so let's call them windows. We have all those windows here in Unity. This is the hierarchy one. Here we have this game one here, we have this inspector here, we have this project here. So in this episode we are going just to explain what all those windows here do in Unity. So let's get started with the first one, which is this project one here. As you can see, we have this panel here, or this window. It's named project. Here, as you can see, I will try to zoom it out with my cursor. It didn't want to. It's here, this project here. So in this project here, when you click, it's this window here, it's all this window here. This is your project window. Here you will have all the assets and everything you import to your project. So right now we have this asset folder here, which include this scene here, and also we have this package one here. When we click this package here, it will load automatically all the folders that exist inside this package folder. And as you can see, when we click in any folder here, it will show us what's included in this folder in this area here. As you can see, we have this 2D sprite, 2D tile map, custom and stuff like this. And if we click on the asset one here, we have this scene. As you can see, we have this asset folder here. Inside of this folder, we have this scene folder here. So if we close this little arrow here, as you can see, we have this scene inside our assets. And if we click this scene here, we will have this simple scene, which is the one we are going to explain in the next minute. So this is the area where you will be having all your setup. So if you click, it's basically the hierarchy for any folders in Windows or in Mac, right? You open a folder and inside this folder you have a lot of folders. So this is the folder that include all your projects. And if you want to include anything new, all you have to do in this area here, I am inside the asset folder here, you just have to do one click and you can create a new folder, new C# scripts, new shaders, testing, playables, assembly, definition, anything basically that you need in your game or in your project. So I will explain everything in details step by step, guys. So for now, let's keep it just like this. So this is the scene, this is the assets area where we can have all the folders we need for our project. And of course you can import anything, just of course a click and you do this import new asset here, or you can basically just click and drag anything that you want inside this area here. It's really easy, guys. So what we have in the top corner here, it's this hierarchy. As you can see, this is a hierarchy window here. This one here is mainly our game or our scene. In Unity, we don't talk about game as a full game, but we make our game based on a lot of scenes or one scene. So in our case, as you can see, we have this folder here named scenes, right? If I double click it, I have inside of it this object right here, and it's named sample scene.unity. It means this is basically the scene that's going to run when you play your game. I know this is really a lot of information right now, but just let's try to keep it simple, okay? So this is the scene that you will have in your games, and this scene here, it's written here as sample scene, right? And all it have inside of it is this main camera here. This is a game object that is included in your simple scene, as it's created by Unity by default. This is the camera that's going to be following anything that you have in your game. So basically this place here is the hierarchy that will organize every object and every game object you have in your games. And if you click in this area here like this, you will have this create empty. We can create an empty game object. We can create a 3D object, let's say for example a cube or a sphere or something like this, and of course we can create 2D objects. So let's just give it an example, but not right now. I want you to focus with me in this blue scene here, this big white blue scene here. This is the game window. As you can see, I have here this game. This is the game window. In this window we will see what you created in your hierarchy here and what you created in your scene. So this is basically the scene here. So let me just zoom out like this. I will explain how to zoom in and how to zoom out easy, guys, so don't worry for now. So this is the scene where we have everything showing up from our hierarchy here, and this is the game window where we are going to be testing our game. So I will just give you a quick example right here. So this is our simple scene. If I click like this and I create a 2D object, let's say for example I will create a sprite just like this. This is a new game object called sprite, and this sprite, as you can see in this corner here, we have this inspector. The inspector will show you everything related to this game object you selected in your hierarchy. It will show you all the information you need about these game objects. So for example, if we click on our main camera here, we will have those information here. This is the inspector, its name is main camera, the tag for this object, it's main camera, the layer where it's layering out, it's this default layer. We have this transform here, which show us the position of our camera. Of course, Unity use the X, Y, and Z position, so you can see where is your object. And we have the rotation here, and of course the scale, and we have these components here. Those are called components, guys. Everything you have here, it's a component. So this is a component, the camera here is a component, and the transform is a component of our game object, the main camera. So these components here have this camera here, it have this clear flag, it's this solid color, it have this background color here. If we change this color, let's say we make it like this, as you can see the camera view is changing here. You can make it basically any color that you want. Let's say for example I will make it just like this, and if we change to the game window here, you will see we have this yellow color here, right? So I will just keep it just like this. And of course the cooling mask, projection, we are going to explain all this stuff later, guys, but not for now. So let's go to the new sprite we just created. Of course you can rename your game objects however you want. All you have to do is double click like this, you know, to rename something. Let's name it circle. Okay, let's keep it just like this. So here in this circle we have different components, guys. We have the transform, of course, which has this position, the rotation, and the scale. Of course we can change the position and everything. We are going to try to do this in a moment. So let me give it a sprite. As you can see, we just created a 2D sprite, but it have nothing for now. As you can see, we cannot detect anything in our scene because we didn't give it anything, right? It's just this little object here with nothing. So if I click on this sprite here, we have some default those are default sprites by Unity, and I will be using one of those stuff here. Just as an example, I will click this dot here, I will click OK, and as you can see we have this dot here inside our game. This is the circle we just created right now. So if I zoom out like this, as you can see this circle is really small, right? So let's go ahead and change its color. We have this color here, and we gave our background color a yellow color, right? So let's go ahead and give it something like this, just so it will show up in the background. As you can see, this is the game object we just created. It's this dot here, right? So let me go back to my scene here, and as you know, I am selecting my circle here, and we can change this transform. I want to say we can transform this game object anything. We can change its position, we can change its rotation, its scale, everything. So let me just double click here, and I will make this 0. As you can see, I just moved my object in my scene from the X position. It was 1.90, I think. I just moved it into 0. I will click tab and I will make it into 0.2, and in the Z I will make it 0.2, and in the scale, let's the rotation, it will not matter this much because we have a round object, so I will just skip it for now. And for the scale, let's say we will give it a 10 by 10 scale. Of course the Z scale won't matter here because we are working in a 2D project, right? So I will not touch the Z scale for now. As you can see, I just scaled this game object into 10 by 10, and now we have this big round one here, and as you can see, it's really showing up here better than before. And of course we can change the draw mode it's sliced, it's whatever we want. We will see all this stuff guys later, but not right now. Right now all we focus on is just to see how we can use this scene here. As you can see, this is the game. This window show us what's going on inside our game. This is the scene where we are going to be working on and putting anything we want inside our scene. And those border you see here guys, those are our camera border. As you can see, if I select my camera, you will see that we have this dot here, here and here and here. Those are showing us what our camera can capture. And this one here, it shows you a camera preview. It shows you what you will see in your game scene when you play the game. For example, let me click on this circle here and I will duplicate this circle. So we will have now 2 circles, and I will move this circle, let's say in this area here somewhere, just like this. Now let me go back and select my camera. As you can see, this is my camera view. It shows us the circle in the middle, and it shows us just this half circle, because as you can see, we have the other half outside the border of our camera. So we can of course sorry guys, we can of course resize the camera and make it bigger or smaller, however we see it fit in our game. So this is basically how we can create anything you want, and we are going to talk about game objects and all this stuff later guys. So it's step by step. For now we are focusing on learning how to use these windows here in this interface here. And of course we have this asset store here. When you need to upload or to download a new asset, you can use the asset store. But if you are not if you are not using the asset store, or if you are going to create your assets by yourself, you just go ahead and close this window. But it's just so I can show you guys what you have in this one here. This one here, it will show you all the stuff that exists in the Unity asset store. And right now there is this mega bundle here in the Unity asset store. You can buy a lot of assets and you will save up to 90%. So this video is not sponsored by Unity or anything, but this is something really cool by Unity for the end of the year. So you can grab this deal here and you will have a lot of assets for free, basically for free. You will save up to 90% over a lot of stuff. So in my case, I will just do a click and close this tab because I don't need it. And this is my game view here, and this is the inspector. Of course we are going to talk more about the inspector later guys in our videos, because this inspector area here really is important and we will be using it a lot. And of course the hierarchy, it's basically the hierarchy of our game. And of course we are going to be using it. Basically we will be using everything here. I know it's not this much guys, but we are just being familiar with the Unity interface and trying to learn all about those windows we've seen here in this episode. I hope you've seen this episode to be to have a lot of information for you guys. I hope you learned something here, and in the next episode we are going to start learning more and more about the Unity interface, and we see how we can move those windows and play with them however we want, and we are going to start creating our basic script. So see you guys in the next episode, and thank you for supporting this channel. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, like this video, and hope to see you guys in the next episode. Love you guys.